What is your name? What is your name?
Yon.
What is your name?
Mylin po.
Mylin. I call you Mylin.
Yes, sir.
Your age,
38.
your height and your weight.
I'm 5 flat and 45 kilos.
What is your marital status? This about it already. Oh. What's the marital status?
Single, sir.
Single. Are you a single mother?
Yes, sir. Single mother.
How many children you have?
I have 4 children.
4. How old are they? What are their ages?
My first is 11 and 8 and 4 and 2 years old.
Okay, if you are working here, who is going to look after your children?
My mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law. But I thought
Yes, sir.
you have already a single mother. So how come you have a mother-in-law? That means you are still staying with your mother-in-law. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
But have you got the permission from your mother-in-law?
I'm not married, sir.
Huh?
I'm not married.
Okay. You're not married. It doesn't
Yes,
mean that
sir.
you are a single mother.
But
I know you are actually stay together.
Yes,
Okay?
sir. Yes, sir.
That means you still got somebody with you. The man is still with you. Am I right? What is the occupation?
Yes. Farmers.
He's a farmer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Huh? What? Yeah, after. Okay. Have you got the permission from your mother-in-law and your? I think I should call him your husband lah, because whether you are married or not, together, so I call him your husband. Have you got the permission?
Information.
Permission.
Permission. Yes, sir. I have.
You have
I get. Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
I get permission.
Okay, can you just sit up straight? Can you just sit up straight? That is better. Yeah, you should sit up straight. Why do you want to lean forward? Is it because you cannot see or what? Your eyes got problem or what? Are your eyes okay? Okay, can you just stand up and just walk a bit backward so that I can see your profile? And put up your hand. Put up your hand straight. A bit up. Hold it a bit up. Okay. I think you are strong. Okay, just sit down. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any medical problems that you are aware of? Do you have any medical problems?
Only my eyes. Only my eyes, sir.
Your eyes. What is wrong with your eye?
I need 3 eyeglasses.
That means you are long-sighted. That means near you cannot see. Am I right? You cannot see near. Hello. That means you cannot see near. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to see whether you can see this or not. Just a minute. Can you read this? Hello. Can you read this?
I like to cook Philippine food.
Okay, but I think your eyesight, you need to wear long-sighted glass. Am I right? You find it a bit difficult when you want to read things that are close by. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Okay. Now, I want you to remember this. I also want to test your memory. What are the 3 alphabets?
M-O-T.
Okay, I will ask this again at the end of the day. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
So you have got the permission from your husband and your mother-in-law to come and work. And are you mentally prepared to come here to work? You must be sure and you must be mentally prepared. And you must be committed.
Yes.
Can you promise me that?
Sir,
Okay. What is your educational level?
what, sir?
What is your educational level? Education. How many years have you been to school?
High school grad, sir.
High school. How many years?
10 years.
Huh?
1, 2,
3 years. How many years in high school?
4 years.
So you completed your high school, huh? Right? You completed your high school.
Yes, sir. I'm complete high school.
I want to know your experience, huh? What are your experiences?
Here in Makati, I have experiences to working condominium plaza.
Condominium Plaza. What was the job there? What was the work?
Housekeeping.
So you are doing housekeeping. So housework, I think no problem lah. You will know how to use all the electrical gadgets. You know how to clean the house, and you know
Yes. Yes, sir.
to make up the bed, and you will you have the experience in household works. What about looking after children? What about looking after children? Do you have any experience looking after children?
I have, sir, but slight.
Okay, you have. Where do you get your experience to look after children?
Yes, sir.
Where was your experience? Where did you get your experience?
They're in condominium plaza din, sir.
Condominium Plaza, do you look after children?
Yes, sir. My madam, sir, is there have children. I look after in the school.
No, you are working in a condominium plaza. What is that? Is that just family or what? You're working for a family or you are just working to look
Family.
up? Huh?
Family, sir, family.
You're working in Makati and that is the place called Condominium Plaza and you're working for a family. And your
Yes,
job
sir.
was to clean the house and look after children. Is that what you're trying to
yes,
tell
sir.
me? And who was the employer? Is it a Filipina or Chinese or what?
Filipina, sir.
Filipina.
Their husband-
Okay. How many
Their
children do they
husband-
have?
2, sir, 2.
How old are their children?
Na 13 years old and 12.
12 and 13 years old. So,
Yes, sir.
so what was your job? To look after children. What was your job? What was the work that you did?
She's an president of Gulf Air Express.
Again? No, what was your job to look after the children? Like for instance, you shower the child, you feed the child, you change the clothing, you take them to school or what? So what was the job?
I just prepare her food and to take a bath and to keep their things, sir.
To keep their things. That means they go to school, they come back, so you keep their maybe their things and their bag. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And were you the only domestic helper in the house, or they have got more than one?
Sir?
When you were working for this family in Condo Plaza, were you the only domestic helper, or they have got more than one domestic helper?
I'm domestic helper, sir.
I know. How many of them working for this family?
2 years.
How many of them? How many domestic helper were there in this?
I have three domestic helper there, sir, in the condominium.
They have got 3 domestic helpers.
Oh, one is cook, one is clean, housekeeping, and one is washing their clothes.
I see. So they got 3 domestic helper, and for you it's primarily to look after children, right?
Yes, sir.
And the household work and look after children, that was your job. Am I right? In this Condo Plaza?
Yes, sir.
Have you any experience looking after elderly people?
Sir?
Looking after old people, elderly people, or maybe invalid, or maybe people who are very weak and needs your help, maybe to push the wheelchair, take them out, change the clothing, or even shower for them, feed them. Have you got any experience looking after old people?
Yes, sir.
Who? And what was your experience?
In the other people, sir?
No.
Yes, sir.
Elderly people, old people, not other people. Old and infirm or invalid. Do you have any experience?
There in the condominium, sir?
No, in anywhere.
In anywhere, sir.
Have you got any experience?
Yes, sir.
Where? Where was your experience from to look after the elderly people? Where did you get your experience?
The other people, sir, they're in Quezon City.
Okay. And how old was that person? Was he invalid? He cannot walk or what?
I have working din, sir, in Attorney Santos 2003.
2003, okay. And
Yes, sir.
what was your job? Your job was to look after the invalid? Was he invalid?
Yes, sir.
He or she?
She and he.
He and she? You mean there are 2 persons that you have to look after?
Yes, sir.
And how old were they?
65 and 70.
Were they able to walk? Were the 2
Yes,
persons
sir.
able to walk? Were they able to walk?
Yes, sir.
They were able to walk.
They walk.
So you assist them because they are weak. So you assist them to get up. You maybe cook the food and feed them, or maybe you shower them and you change their clothing. Was that your
Yes,
job?
sir.
Was that your job?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have got a family here. They also got a few domestic helpers. They have got, including you, maybe it will be the 4th domestic helper. They are also staying in a condominium. They are from Hong Kong.
Yes, sir.
And they also need somebody to look after the house or to look after 2 elderly person, also maybe about 70 to 80 years old. They are also, I think, their father and mother. If they were to select you, are you prepared to work for them, where they have another 2 or 3 more domestic helper?
Yes, sir.
Can you work together with this other domestic helper?
Yes, sir.
I think they have got 2 more Filipino and 1 Indonesian, I think. So they need 1 more. So if I were to give your biodata to them and they are okay with you, but they are very strict. They are very strict. They are very strict. Okay, but they will pay you well. They will ask you to work without off days? Can you work without off days? But they will compensate you. Can you work without off days?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure? You have to think carefully. They need people to help them. They are from Hong Kong. Okay, this family, they are from Hong Kong. They are they migrated here and they are staying in Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
They have got a small family, no children. They have got about 4 or 5 person, but the house is very big. But they got 4 domestic helpers. Okay, but they are very strict. Of course, they will pay you for all the days that you work. Do you think you can work for this family? They are Chinese actually. Do you think you can work for this family?
Chinese?
Yeah, they are Chinese from Hong Kong.
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also the telephone, they are also very strict with the telephone because previously the domestic helper took their phone and took the photograph of their condominium, so they are worried that they will take it and give it to the wrong person. So they are very strict with the phone. They will give you the phone to call maybe once a week, twice a week, or I think maybe once a week they will allow you to call once a week. Is that okay with you? Do you think is that okay with you? You will not be allowed to keep. You will be not allowed to keep the phone, but they will give you the phone if you want to call once a week. But I don't want you to call too many times. It's very expensive. You waste a lot of money. Maybe once a week. Once a week you can call back. Is that okay? You can call back to your family. You talk to them, but talk about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't talk too long. Calling from here to Philippines is very expensive. I think every minute is about 100. No, it's about 10 peso every minute. So you talk for 10 minutes is already 100 peso. So you can call maybe twice a month or even 4 times a month. That will cost you maybe 80 to 1,000 peso. I think it's still okay. But you spending a bit more than that, I think it's not advisable. Do you think is that okay for you?
Yes, sir. It's okay, sir. Yes, sir. It's okay.
They will actually compensate you, but they are very strict. They will not allow you to have the handphone. Do you think you can agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know how long is your contract?
2 years.
2 years. Do you think you can finish your contract or not?
Yes, sir.
So you are very sure you will finish your contract. Now,
Yes,
actually here, our employers here, I have to let you know, they are all very kind, but some of them are very strict. Okay, food and sleeping, I will make sure that you have enough food and you have enough sleep. But sometimes the employer are just worried, like for handphone, they are worried that you will take the photograph of because they are very rich. Okay, they are very rich. So they are worried that you will take the photograph of the house, then give it to somebody. They are just worried of that. So that's why they don't allow you to keep the handphone. If you agree, then I will just let the employer employ you. Is that okay? Hello, is that okay? Is that okay with you? Is that okay with you? That you will work, and they will compensate you, and the phone they will not allow you to hold because they are worried that you will take the photograph. Is that okay with you?
It's okay, sir.
It's okay, and they have got old people. So is it okay if you look after the old people?
Yes, sir.
But I will leave it to them. It's either that you look after the old people or you just look after the house, or they will alternate. So I'm not sure. But both you're okay, right? To look after the house, you're okay. To look after the elderly, you're okay. The elderly, both of them can walk. They can walk. They can eat by themselves. But of course, they need help. That's why they need to have 4 helpers. So is it okay with you?
Yes, sir.
So you are also willing to look after children, just in case I have got another employer for you, they need you to look after children. Because I see
Yes,
that
sir.
you are actually mentally prepared to work, but you have to make sure that you are responsible. Looking after children, you have to be very responsible, because sometimes you might have to send them to school, wait for the bus, take them down from the bus, bathe them, feed them, and make sure you take good care of them. Are you willing to do
Yes,
that?
sir.
Are you willing to do that,
Yes,
just
sir.
to be responsible, very responsible, to look after children?
Yes, sir.
Do you like or love children? Okay, let's say sometimes you might ask to do hand wash of clothing. Can you do it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What about using electrical gadgets like vacuum cleaner, washing machine, rice cooker, microwave? Do you know how to use all these?
Yes, sir. I know.
You know. What about cooking? Do you like cooking?
Slide.
Slide. So in the house in Philippines, you don't cook. You don't cook any Philippine
Yes.
food.
Yes, sir. Filipino food. I cook.
You cook. What are the Philippine food you know how to cook?
Adobo, minudo, and sinigang.
Okay. So if the mom willing to teach you to cook, are you prepared to help to cook?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you afraid to be alone in the house? Let's say sometimes our family in Malaysia is very small. They have sir, mom, and maybe 1 child or 2 children. They go to work, children go to school, and you'll be alone in the house. Are you afraid to be alone in the house?
Yes, sir. Huh?
So you are afraid to be alone in the house. No, you listen to my question carefully. Let's say the sir, mom goes to work, the children go to school. You'll be alone in the house to do your work, especially housework. You need to clean up the room, clean up the washroom, the bathroom, maybe the windows. Are you afraid to be alone in the house?
No, sir.
No, you are. I think I'm sure you are used to that. You are not afraid.
Yes, sir.
Are you prepared to obey the rules and regulation of the employer?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you have any friends or relatives in Malaysia?
No, sir.
No. You are not allowed to bring in friends to the house unless you get the permission from the
Yes.
employer. Are you willing
Yes,
to listen to the instruction of the employer to say that you cannot bring friends or relatives to the house?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, if the employer is a vegetarian, they don't take meat, do you think you can accommodate this type of food? They are actually vegetarian. Do you think you can eat this type of food, vegetarian food? That means they don't take meat. I've got some Indian employers, they are vegetarian. They don't take meat. Do you think you can take this type of food?
Depend.
No, when you go out, of course, you are allowed to take your type of food that you like. You can take meat, you can take everything that you like. But in the house, they're vegetarian. So in the house, you also have to eat the same food with them. So do you think you can accommodate?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you afraid of height? Let's say sometimes they might ask you to clean the fan, clean the window. You might have to stand on a small stool or a short ladder. Do you think you can do that?
Sir, I can do that.
Yes. Okay. Is there any question that you want to ask me? Mine is very bad actually. Is there any question that you want to ask me? Any question that you want to ask me?
No, sir.
No. Now, if I'm the employer here, what would you tell me so that I will employ you?
I am hardworking, honest, responsible, and willing to listen to the employer.
So you just
Instruction of the employer.
Just-
Instruction of the employer.
just remember that what you told me, this is very good. Okay, hardworking, honest. Honesty is important.
Yes.
Responsible, and of course you need to listen to the instruction of the employer. But make sure that whatever you are telling me that you have to comply when you are working here. Is that okay?
Sir.
Okay, just now I gave you 3 alphabets. Can you remember what are the 3 alphabets?
MOT.
MOT, okay. So I believe your memory, I think is quite good, okay, because you can remember. Some of them cannot remember. I think that's all, okay. I will get you an employer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank
Bye,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir.
Bye, thank you so much.